Hey Amigos family, here with Kristin and Chico, sitting under the rancho, and we are just so overjoyed. We have just finished up a 3-day full 72 hours of time with our team on our annual team retreat. And this year, what we are going to be talking about, our theme for the year is As It Is in Heaven. And we might hear some of us refer to it in Spanish as Como en el Cielo. And so we're just excited to talk about what these past few days looked like, what this theme means for us. So I'm excited to jump in and hear a little bit from you guys.
Yes, it has been so fun. Kind of moving around with 250 of our what we call family, of everybody that works here at Amigos, and kind of being on the front end of the year. Just, I think for me especially, it's been just really inspiring to start the year with a theme that definitely, I think we could all feel over the last couple of days, it has really meant a lot to our team. And the fact that this theme is not just something, that we based our retreat on, but this is something that's going to carry us through the whole year with all of our mission trips that come to visit, and hopefully a message that will really inspire people. And so as we have been planning for this year and kind of thinking about, what is the thing that's going to bring everybody together and really focus us, maybe create some growth in a new way.
Yeah.
We really felt inspired by Jesus's words when he is in the middle of the Sermon on the Mount, and he's got all, this huge crowd in front of him, and he's teaching through all different things, but he stops at one point and he says, this is how you should pray. And, the Our Father is something that, a lot of us, if we've grown up in church, it's words that we know we've said over and over and over and over again. But there's a point in there where we really just wanted to stop and just focus in on it and what it means for all of us and how we get to participate in it. And let me take myself to the English, where he says, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." And, back in that time, the people that he was talking to, it was almost a radical idea that there could be heaven here and now. What, And so we kind of took that, and we've been just carrying our team through it. So it's just been a really special time to kind of think through, what does it look like for heaven to come to earth? And how do we get to experience that? How do we get to participate in it? How do we get to create it for other people? So yeah, it's been a really special time. How about for you? Have you had a good memory?
So yes, many, but I'll share just like a kind of zoom out something that I'm picturing. So for everybody listening and watching, you can kind of imagine some of your friends that are a part of the Amigos team, people that you've got to know, people that you consider as family. So normally, those people are driving a bus, bringing you from the airport back to the Amigos complex, or they're the teachers at the academy that are with those little itty bitty kids in preschool and they're practicing their English words, or it's the guys out at the baseball academy, the coaches who are ready to really inspire. We can think of all these different people. So everyone kind of took the time off from what they normally do. So the picture that I see is halfway through retreat, we kind of semi-surprised everybody and said, okay, we're going to go out to the beach and we're going to spend the afternoon there. And we're going to spend the evening there to talk and to worship and pray. So the best part is everybody gets out there. And I was kind of thinking, like, wonder what people are going to do. And I'm so used to seeing people kind of do what they do every day. But the funny part is we had pickup soccer games, volleyball games, baseball games, all of the games. And I loved seeing team members from all across the organization. Some that are, have button down shirts that are in the office on the admin team, to people who get to serve in the warehouse, all, playing, tearing it up, having fun with these games. So that just brought me a lot of joy. People who, since we were out of the beach, who were body surfing in the water and truly just soaking in this idea of resting in God's love, as it is in heaven. So that was part one. Part two, and this is going to be something that I will remember for a really long time, is we're at the beach. We just had dinner and the sun was setting, and it was like that sun is just about to set, and it's just set in kind of that afterglow.
It looked like a painting.
It truly looked like a painting. And so our team is sitting there, and it was just incredible because we're looking out at the sky and the afterglow of the sunset. But this theme that we've been talking about, as it is in heaven, and even a logo that might pop up somewhere, you'll see kind of little stars in the corner of it, kind of referring to the heavens above. So we're sitting there, the sun is setting, there's this afterglow. Our whole team is together. Chico's just about to start worship. We had just given some words of gratitude for people that had been serving and helping us. And little stars started to pop up in the sky above us because it was totally open. And as these stars started to appear in the sky, that's when we started worshiping. And as we were finishing worship, it was totally dark. The sky was totally lit up with stars. And it was this feeling truly of like heaven and earth just shrunk really close together. And we were sitting there kind of in that in between. And then what we talked about was super inspiring of how we can go out and be that example of heaven on earth. So that's a moment that sticks with me. Sure, that sticks with our team. Chico, you were able to see all of us. You were one of the only ones that was watching everybody else's faces since we were all looking at you. But for you, being in that unique spot and just having this theme in your mind and heart of como en el cielo, or as it is in heaven, what does it mean to you?
Yeah, I think that we really experienced como en el cielo this time. And not only about the place that we were at the beach, but the people. I mean, I think that one of the characteristics of the heaven is that there's no titles. There's no engineers. There's no titles. So we experienced that. And we were playing, as you were saying, the same. We were having fun. But I have this privilege to see from the stage to everyone. And this is a gift because I can see, and not only when you're having fun, but when the people is touched by God.
They're touched by God.
Yeah, I can see in the eyes. So sometimes someone asked me why I close my eyes, and I close my eyes. This is a secret, but when I want to cry,
not a secret anymore.
Not a secret anymore, but when I see the eyes, the people singing and like sometimes crying, so I close my eyes because it moved me, it touched my heart, and I felt that was so really nice moment, and I'm just thinking about what como en el cielo means to me. And one of the characteristics is that there's no titles in the heaven. But another characteristic about heaven is that His will is real in the heaven. I mean, everybody does His will, and when we do that here, so the heaven is here. And in this time with the team, we were like finding that, finding this moment to listen God's voice and do what He wants to us to do. This is the second characteristic. And the third one, I don't remember right now, but I'm sure that I remember.
Are you tired, Chico?
a little bit. But the thing is that heaven is not a place. It's not a place. Heaven is about values, is about His presence, is about to be intentional in the things that you're doing. And heaven, this is the third thing that I was going to say. I think that the moment in history when heaven was closer to earth was when Jesus walked in earth, and He said that the kingdom of God is near, is close, and it was close, and you could see in the Bible that Jesus healed.
Yeah.
He resurrect people. So something supernatural was happening there. And I just it came to my mind what Jesus said, that you're gonna do better things than that, than this. And when I see Amigos of Christ, we can see people that couldn't see and now can see,
Literally.
couldn't walk
Literally, yeah.
and now can walk, and people that has been like restored,
Restored, yeah.
and his history has been restored because Jesus is present in Amigos.
I love that. Well, and Chico, that makes me think too. It's like we choose to take this time with our team because our mission is to serve. Our mission is to serve, to provide sight, when our team can, to support people through surgeries to walk again, to give people who are thirsty, people who don't have water, to be able to give them access to water. There are all these things that we really tried to make happen because of Jesus' example. And I think about us taking these few days and say, okay, we're gonna be filled up. We're gonna take some time to put some more drops in our buckets to be able to go and to carry out our mission, because we know that we have to be filled up too. So I would love to hear from both of you, but Kristin, we can start with you, thinking about maybe your hopes, or how you see this going. What would be your hopes for how everybody else in the big Amigos family, it's families in the communities that we get to walk alongside of, or students at the academy, or our friends in the States who maybe have been on a mission trip before, or maybe are gearing up to come on their first mission trip with us. How do you see As It Is in Heaven kind of playing out with everybody?
Yeah, I think it's very much related to what you just said, Chico. We get to see it in a lot of practical, tangible ways, but there's a lot of things that sometimes we don't see, but we know that God's working. When you come into our property here and you walk through this main hallway into the rancho, kind of into our living room right here, there's a painting that was put on the wall about a year ago, maybe. Yeah. And it's just a map of Chinandega. And it says in both English and Spanish, but in English it says, in Chinandega, as it is in heaven. And, over the last couple of days and just this idea of what does this look like, and what are the things that we're inspired by, and what do we want to see, and what does that even look like? I think we've learned together that it's possible. And I think more than anything, what I certainly am walking away from this time with, and I think a lot of people on our team, is the idea that for in Chinandega, as it is in heaven, to become possible, or in Atlanta, as it is in heaven, or in San Jose, as it is in heaven, in Cincinnati, as it is in heaven, in St. Louis, as it is in heaven, and all these different places where people come from, and they come here to serve and to connect with people, that in the most practical way of how this plays itself out is that there's transformation that happens inside of us, that we choose to allow God to work. And that from that, we kind of become these little bright spots, as, something that we often say around here. And that's how it happens. One of the main things that we talked about these past couple of days is it starts right here.
Yep.
Like, for heaven to take hold here on earth, it starts right here. And it's not so much about our actions. Yes, as an organization, there's all these things that we facilitate and we do, and they're important, and they're very much needed. But there's something so deep that happens within people, that transformation that we see inside of them, and that's the heaven, So I don't. That's just kind of, I think I'm walking away feeling inspired by that it's not just in Chinandega as it is in heaven, but it's anywhere.
Yeah.
It's in my own home as it is in heaven. That's what God wants, and I get to experience it and be part of it. So,
Chico, would you add anything?
I think that the transformation, she was talking about transformation, and I think the main thing in the retreat was to think about transformation begin inside to outside. So if we want to do more, we need more. And I think that this is like a principle. If you want to give more, you need more of God. And we had this great moment when the team had the opportunity to share stories, to open their heart, to see each other as a family.
Yeah.
Because the team is getting bigger. So this moment was really needed to remember why we do what we do, but what we need to do what we do. And what we need is God, is vision from God. And only you can have that with only with a relationship. And there was a thing that we were talking about. It was activity and intimacy. Intimacy,
Yeah.
or relationship.
Yeah.
So sometimes we can do activities for God, and we're doing good things, but maybe we're not like having this relationship with God. And it's different. It's different to do things for someone and to know someone or to love someone. So it's important to remember that. Remember that we are a ministry. We are we need to listen what God wants to us to do.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. As I'm sitting here listening to you, I'm thinking through, somebody who might be listening to us right now or watching might be asking themselves a question. So what does this mean for me? What does this mean for me? And I just want to take a second to encourage everybody who's listening. And we know that one of our favorite words at Amigos is what's on Kristin's shirt right now is juntos. We really truly believe that we've all been brought into this Amigos family for a reason. And it doesn't matter if we were all together right here in Chinandega for these past 3 days to start to talk about como en el cielo, as it is in heaven. I think really what our invitation would be for anybody who's listening is to feel encouraged that you're not alone in bringing heaven to earth. Chico, you perfectly said it's not a place. We're all creating it and we're living it. And I think for anybody who's listening, I know a lot of people throw on podcasts when they're driving or when they're on a jog or on a bike ride or hanging at home. And we just want to invite you right now as a team. And, we are super inspired by this because we've been talking about it. We want to invite you to join us in this idea of living lives as they would be in heaven. And whatever that looks like. Kristin said it, maybe it's in her home. Chico, you talked about in your heart. The transformation starts in between. And for our team, we talked about as a team, and for the ways that we get to serve, we talked about doing it in that too. So I just want to encourage everybody, invite everybody to think about how we can live our lives as they would be in heaven. Chico, to steal some of your characteristics, we can jot those down and go back to those of ways that we can see how heaven is on earth. So for everybody listening, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for joining us on this camino to life transformation. And really grateful for us to get to share a little bit of como en el cielo as it is in heaven today.